listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumping where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
They switched a ton of our screens, trying to slow us down, slow our pace down. I thought, highly competitive game. It just came down to the start of that fourth quarter. They went on the run. We were able to close the gap some, and then down the stretch they made plays. They made some shots. We missed some, and so that's an area that we have to continue to look at and work on as we progress. Yeah, he's been awesome. Driving to the basket, getting to the free throw line, finding his teammates. We all have to do a better job of, sharing the basketball. We had 16 assists in the first half, and only ended the game with 25. So, their defense did stagnate us some, but we have to search for quality shots. And I thought there was times throughout the game where we took some tough ones, and those are the ones that you if you could get those back, get quality looks, you can set your defense and be even better.
How tough is it finding that balance? They're a small team because of their injuries and wanting to attack the paint, but still trying to find chances to get good quality threes up.
Well, when you attack the paint, it collapses the defense. So, we talked about it. We work on it. That's if you don't have a shot at the rim, eyes out to 3-point line. Those are quality looks that we should be looking for. And I feel like we missed a few of them. But, look, they made some plays down the stretch, and we have to be better.
What did you think of the job? Kelly doesn't plus minus could be a weird stats sometimes, but it seemed like he was able to make an impact. Even, you look at stats, 4-3-3, but it seemed like he was able to make an impact.
Yeah, he was good. His first game with he's been out for a while, so he's knocking off some rust. Different lineups out there tonight. We're getting used to the personnel, but I like, I thought it was some positives that we can take from this game, and hopefully carry it over into practice into the rest of the season.
What did you like with those big lineups where he is essentially the three? You tried to set up with Eve and Carlos, you tried with Eve and with Kelly. What did you like with those groups?
Well, it's really Z being the one with those groups. He's handling. He's got Murph and CJ on the wings. Eve is coming in the screens, diving. You got Kelly who can pop and make shots now. I like it. It makes us bigger. We can rebound the ball. We got to continue to play with pace for 48 minutes. And I thought fourth quarter we slowed down a bit. Thank you.
For all things Pelicans, we up in here. Shout out to Big Q and DC. I hope y'all had a nice break. It's been a long break. It seems like it's been a minute, almost like it was the off season already. But No, we're back. It was just All-Star weekend. Looks like the Pelicans picked up where they left off. Well, sort of. They before going into the All-Star weekend, Pelicans did get a win. But I guess looking at the grand scope of things, still picking up where we kind of left off. And that's back to the loss. So yeah, just a reality check to where the team is and all that good stuff. What's going on with you, DC? Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there we go. All right, yeah, it's having a little technical difficulties, but I'm good. You said we had a long break. You know,
Felt
but
like the off season.
we already in the off season. If you ask me, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
After watching the game tonight, it is it just more confirms that when you turn on the game, you're like, okay, Zion playing tonight. Let me see. Let me start looking at the game through a different lens, like I said I'm gonna do, and just look at personnel and not focus on the score so much. And I see Kelly Olynyk and Yves Missi in the starting lineup. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, they're playing
It's,
Zion at the 3, which
right,
is
but CJ is the point guard. Like,
well, actually, I think it's Zion because Zion was handling the point a
he
lot.
he was handling a lot of it, but I mean, like, if you look on, you're gonna have CJ listed as the point, Zion at the 3, even though he a point 3. But I don't know. I thought Jose was playing good. I just think I'd like to see him in that lineup, even if you're gonna have Zion handling the ball more, instead of just throwing Yves out there with Olynyk. You want to start him, then fine. Which I think he probably would look better with Zion from just the small stuff I'm seeing this fast already from just watching him. I think picking him up may be a blessing in disguise, even though, the Pelicans kind of stumbled into that. I don't think any of that was intentional. But I think in the long run, he's going to wind up being a guy that looks good with Zion.
And who's that again?
Kelly Olynyk.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I guess he was playing. He was playing the 4, and he was playing the 5. Zion was at 3. Trey was at the 2. Got CJ at point, even though he didn't have full point guard duties, as you pointed out. But did you actually catch anything Willie said? At this point, it's hard to even listen to.
Yeah, just all the other post game interviews that he had. It was the same.
Just run this. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe that's why I tuned it out. It's like listening to a tape.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I could go into a lot of things, but I mean, it's nothing that anybody, hasn't heard already. So,
well, they haven't heard it for a week, Lex.
No, I'm not gonna waste my time because it's the same. It's the same crap, different day, different week.
This is a big
month,
crap.
Same season. So I'm really not trying to do that too much. But hold on, I'm a get some things up and going here.
Okay.
All right.
So you pulling up stats and statistics. The stats and statistics. There we go.
You know how we do it.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, there we go. Yeah, can you all see that? All right. Can you all see that? Okay. Yeah, do it this way or something. All right. So we got this going on. We'll go over these real quick and get your. Oh, did you have any more thoughts before we got started on the illustrious stats there?
No, we can go over the stats. My thoughts are pretty much the same. Ain't nothing changed, so it's like it's kind of hard to think different. But I guess looking into the lens of the future, I would say I really like what I'm seeing from Zion, Trey, and I think the sky's the limit for these two as a duo. Zion is making the most of a really weird situation with the way his minutes restriction is going. And I think him putting up just elite numbers and still, playing defense and making the most of it, man, and trying to go out there and still get dubs and keeping us competitive. That's good to see. But, when you look at the scoreboard, it's, I feel a lot of times when I'm looking at the game, because I want the Pels to lose, but I'll be thinking about you when he's like, no, I want to win. I want to win at all costs. And what I see is just watching it tonight, just all the bad habits that they just build from just this losing mentality and this losing way of doing things. I guess it's disheartening and aggravating to watch, man. So I just been trying to focus on the positives, Lex. And I like the growth I'm seeing from those two guys. The growth with Trey is everything he's doing. When the defense actually gets tough on him, the way he's been facilitating and handling his business there, he still has a lot of tenacity on the defensive end. And just his confidence is growing, the type of shots he's taking. Never seen Trey take any really mid-range. He tried to take a mid-range today. He didn't hit it. It was wide open, too. He missed it. But just watching him evolve, man, seeing what he will grow into the rest of the season, because the passing wasn't something I saw. Just the whole basketball player he's become this year. I always thought Trey could get better, but I didn't think he would make a leap this fast. And if he can tighten up his handle, get a mid-range shot, I mean, he pretty much, we're not going to really miss a whole lot from Brandon Ingram. And that's a whole mouthful to say, because Brandon Ingram is a hell of a player.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into these stats.
You sound so happy about him, Lex. Seems like so excited to go over the stats and statistics.
But I am going to let you present who is sponsoring the stats on this evening.
The stats and statistics from tonight's game are sponsored by none other than the Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie Irving, who managed to drop 38 points on the Pelicans.
Did you say 38 points?
Was it 38?
No, it was 35, but I'm glad you want to.
I thought it was 38.
Nah.
35. Well, I gave him 3 more for no reason.
Yeah, he had 35 points, 11 for 22, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. All right. And I do want to point this out before we hit the stats, but Zion Williamson he's the third youngest guy to hit 5,000 points.
You know how crazy that is? With the amount of games that Zion has missed, he could have been the number 1 guy.
And the minute restrictions. You know what I'm saying? Just think, he could have
easily had another 40 points tonight.
Yeah, he really could have. And I do want to say this. I've said this before, but the fact that Zion, because everything is leading back to his minute restriction. The fact that he's on this minute restriction, it basically seals the deal that the Pelicans are going to lose, because they are so determined. I don't care what type of run that the team is on. I don't care if Zion has the hot hand. If the game is close, they are not budging or, going away from his minute restriction. When it's time for him to come out, it's time for him to come out. Nothing else matters. And I think, just think if he wasn't dealing with this, like, we would really be seeing Zion like being unleashed like he should be. And it just kind of stinks, because I'm like, okay, he's on a roll right now. Why would you take him out? Like, and it really does suck, because it just confirms more and more that the team is trying to is tanking. Not
Oh
trying. They're
they
tanking.
didn't full out tank more. Nah.
And I'm not. Look, I like the fact that Zion is getting his stats, but I'm not all about the stats if it's not equating to wins.
Oh, you don't want no empty calories, huh?
I mean, exactly. I mean, it's like they're basically making this empty stats for Zion. They are good stats. It's great that he's able to do what he's doing in his restricted minutes. But it's like we want it to have purpose. I mean, that's the same thing. It's like even in the 70 games that he played on last season, like every time he was out there, it was empty. It was empty performance for the most part, because the first half of the season he was playing second fiddle. He had to take a back seat, and I'm like, are you like even when he's available? You feel me? Like even it's still the same thing, only it's in a different manner. Now we're seeing him get his perform at a very high level, but look at the situation.
I mean, you got a coach who don't know what sets to run, don't know when to call timeouts, don't know when to do the proper lineups. Like we're not doing anything correctly, and on top of intentionally trying to lose. So I mean, as bad as Willie Green is, some of that can actually be built into having them fail for whatever reason or whatever game plan they're running with. Because when you look at the players on this team, they're not 44 losses now. 40 is it 40?
I
43.
think it's 43.
40. They're not 43 losses bad, even with injuries and all that. If you got Trey healthy, Zion out there, you should be able to not get 43 losses. You know what I mean? But that's where we at. So they fully leaned into this, and we're gonna see 26 more miserable basketball games. The only caveat we got is hope to see younger guys develop. Like I like some of the things I saw from Carlo tonight. He had a little splash play, got a nice little dunk in there on the and one. You're seeing Yves do his thing defensively, although he needs a lot of help with his offensive game. A lot of finishes, man, and just the whole team as a whole just couldn't finish in the paint. Like it was just really bad tonight. So I think we got to make the most of it, Lex, and try to look at the positives, because it's not going to get better. And I mean, they might get to a point in the season where they start.
Who you telling? Didn't I tell you?
I told you it wasn't going to get. I said I hope it get worse.
I mean, the thing
keep on keeping on.
I feel like the worst is already here. And then on top of that, it is going to get worse, because I feel like you're losing time. You can't get time back. You can't get that back. And the longer they go, which we all know how the Pelicans move, they move very, very slow. You know what I'm saying?
At the snail's pace.
They are very delayed. They move slow as molasses. That's what I always say. And so that's
it only took them 5-6 years to put a stretch center around Zion.
Yeah, you see how long it only took, and then they had a point guard. They got rid of that point guard, but didn't replace him. You went and got a true 2 guard to try to play him full time at a point guard, which that was a lot of wasted time. You still don't have an identity. You still don't have a system.
Oh, damn.
They really have not dialed all the way in as far as building around Zion. You know what I'm saying? Even the times that, I mean, he played 70 games just last season. Why didn't you build around him then? You know what I'm saying? Because 70 games, that's a lot of games. That's the most games that he's played. So, Yeah, these everything about this situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what, what do you say that's positive? Look, you know what I'm saying? When everything is so bad, and I know, Slim, I see what you're saying as far as all we have to look forward to is the NBA lottery, but you know what? You got to pump the brakes on that because again, if you have this same coaching staff, this same front office, along with ownership, with that new draft pick. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to be negative or nothing. I'm just trying to be real because I'm looking at the trends of this team. It don't even matter. They are going to ruin. I feel like they are going to ruin that top draft pick. And that's a problem. If we get a top draft pick, hey man, house got to be clean. It's got to be cleaned out. I mean, because I feel like no matter who you trade for, no matter who you get in the draft, this situation is not going anywhere because you're beating around the bush. And you can't do that. You have to solve problems by, head on. You can't just continue to beat around the bush because look, we've had 6 seasons of the Pelicans beating around the bush. Think about it. They're not addressing things. They're delayed in how they move. And, in this league, you got to move with a purpose. You constantly have to be positioning your organization and the team to win. And this organization has not been doing that. They're behind. They're behind. Like, so you can understand the San Antonio Spurs have already passed up the Pelicans. The Houston Rockets have already passed up the Pelicans. And the Pelicans were actually ahead of them. Think about that. That's like a big deal. But let's get to the stats before we don't get to them. Let's see here. Everybody see it okay? Hope everybody
Can you make the stats bigger and just move that video out the way?
What video? You see a video?
Yeah, you go ahead and stop that playing.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, we don't need to see Mr. No forehead. Well, no lining on his forehead.
Let's see here. Can y'all see it better? Is that helping?
There you go.
Okay. All right. Okay. So the Pelicans lost 103-111 to the Dallas Mavericks. Let's see. Field goal percentage for the Pelicans was 41.3% compared to the Mavs, 43%. Woo! 3-point shots. Okay. Well, we know why. The Pelicans lost, okay? Because the math ain't mathing on them 3-point shots. Okay?
Hey, Lex, look, Willie waited till the last 4 minutes of the game to decide to put. I don't think you can run a lineup like this all the time, but he had a lineup where they had all shooting around Zion. Didn't do that till 4 minutes or so left in the game.
Okay.
That sounds like it might work, right? Like you just put a lineup with all shooting around Zion. It might have been last 2 minutes of the game. My bad.
Yeah.
I don't think because 4 minutes, I don't even know if Zion was still sub back in yet.
Molasses, the Pelicans are delayed, and behind in their movements. Yeah, it all aligns up. Just what you said as far as with Willie. But yeah, the 3-point shots, Pelicans went 8 for 27. Mavs went 16, so they had 8 more threes. 44. So that came to a 3-point percentage of 29.6 for the Pelicans, 36.4 for the Mavs. Free throws, 19 out of 25. For the Mavs, 21 out of 27. And the Mavs obviously did better in the free throw percentage. Pelicans hit 76 and Mavs hit 77.8. Rebounds. Now, this might be a first, maybe a second, but the Pelicans won the rebounding. Uh,
Well,
53. Yeah,
I guess that's what happened when you just decide not to play small ball all the time, right?
yeah. He tried to play small ball. I'm gonna get to that though. I'm gonna get to that.
You know, it was a I guess a gift getting rid of Javante as much as well as it is a loss. But getting rid of him, keeps us from going small all the time because that was Willie's plug and play guy for any situation.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Let's see. Had 53 rebounds compared to the Mavs 47 rebounds, 14 offensive boards for the Pelicans, 8 for the Mavs, 39 defensive rebounds for the Pelicans, and 39 for the Mavs. All right. So assists, we lost the assist battle,
Of course we
25
did.
compared to their 28. Had the same amount of steals at 8. We did have more blocks at 6, and the Mavs had 4. Turnovers were equivalent as well at 14. Fast break points. Pelicans had 22. Mavs had 10. Points in the paint. Won the paint battle. 56 points in the paint and 36 points for the Mavs in the paint.
We could have easily had like 70 points. We missed so many easy shots.
Yeah. Fouls. Pelicans had 23. Mavs had 18. And let's see. Yeah. Largest lead for the Pelicans was 4. And largest lead for the Mavs was 12. So clearly, we won on the boards. Won in points in the paint. What killed the team was the 3-point shot. Yeah, that's what killed. That's what really killed. So we are going to go to the box score. We'll just go over the Pelicans and what they did. All right, so Kelly Olynyk played 24 minutes. He was 2 for 6 from field. Had 3 defensive rebounds or 3 total rebounds. I'll just keep it at that. 3 assists, 1 turnover, 3 personal fouls. He was plus 11 in the plus minus with a total of 4 points. Zion Williamson, we know they're gonna be disciplined on keeping him at least 28 and under. So he played
I
27.
think he gonna make it to about 30 minutes and maybe the next 5 to 8 games.
Hey, we ain't speaking like all the future stuff. Hey, let's see it because I don't care what they say at this point. I want to see it because we
I
ain't.
think Zion gonna keep asking him to play more minutes because you remember they were messing his minutes up at the end of the game. He was able to end the game this time. There's been times where it's like he wasn't even in the game at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So he at least was in the game during crunch time. Now I think he's probably been putting pressure on him about that. But
they ain't. The Pelicans ain't listening to him, man. They have their agenda, and I think they're gonna stick with that. We all know what the agenda is. They want the Pelicans to lose. If Zion is out there, Zion wants to win. That's what he said. He wants to win. So the fact that he wants to win, it's like, because we don't want the team to win. That's a problem. That's a clash. But they don't want him at. If Zion's out there more and he's giving them more of a chance to win, that's a problem because then Zion is messing up what they're trying to do. But at the same time, they want Zion out there to get his stats. That's why I keep saying, like, I'm looking at the Pelicans' purpose for Zion, and they're making his performance and what he's doing out there empty. Because that's them. That's not Zion. You know what I'm saying? Zion is a winner. He wants to win. Like as long as he could have like the worst stats on the team. I mean, I know typically that That's not going to happen. But if he has the worst stats on the team and the team is winning, he's perfectly fine with that because the team won. So when I look at these stats, I mean they are impressive. They really are impressive. With what he's doing in this small amount of time, man, I know other teams are like, man, they don't know what to do with this dude. This dude is doing things that are astronomical. Like people who really know basketball, you're like, oh my gosh. But
Yeah, I ain't never seen nobody Zion's size, the size he is, as far as that weight with that type of athletic ability that I've never seen it before, Lex. I've never seen anybody that big move that
defense,
nimbly.
Man. See how he was guarding Kyrie?
Man, he guard everybody. Zion could guard damn near 1 through 4 now.
No, but
I'm put him on the 5.
Kyrie is a shifty guard, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you look at Zion and his size, like you were saying, and how he was getting low, getting his hands he got his hands down there. He interrupted Kyrie's handle.
That's the thing about him. Like he gets so low. He get lower than guys that are shorter than him. Like
I know.
Especially when he come and he cuts around somebody or cutting through a double team. Zion his damn shoulder look like it's damn near about to scrape the court. How low he get. He gets so low to the ground, man, and then he come up and bounce up like that. It's just something we ain't never seen before. Zion is a true 1-of-1, and
he really is.
To maximize what he is, it's gonna take some creativity, and that's why we all know this front office gotta go because they don't have any. They don't have any creativity. None at all. So when you talk about the draft and us getting those guys, like I get it, but I just want them to stockpile talent. And I know Griffin probably won't make the most of it, but at some point he got to get out of here. And when he get out of here, the next person that's walking into the situation, all it takes is a change in mindset. Hopefully we'll have a good coach in the building that can get through to Miss Benson, or somebody gonna have to get through them about the old used car salesman David Griffin, trying to sell you goddamn lemons and hoping you can make lemonade out of them. He can't even make the lemonade for you and turn the lemons into lemonade. He's gonna sell you lemons. But until he get up out of here, you're right. The best we could hope for is to make it to the playoffs, and we'll continue to fizzle out because we'll always be missing that key piece. Everybody has like maybe this X factor or this addition that they made last season after monitoring what their team needs, right? Mm-hmm. We're never the team that does shit like that. We'll go and see exactly what we need and we just won't do it. Then we do it 3 years later and it's like, okay, we got that, but now these other pieces then switched around. And we need this other shit. So we got to wait another 3 years before that get fixed. So it's just a constant cycle of like living in hell, hoping that anything would change or expecting anything to change. Because I don't think anybody has any hope at this point. But expecting anything to change with this current rendition of what we have in the front office and coaching. So I'm with you. But I know one thing about talent, man. When you have great talent, so sometimes
you don't have to coach.
Yeah. Yeah, they can overcome all type of odds, Lex. My bad, Stacey. I'm sorry. I said the H word. I need to put $1 in the sweat jar. I said hope. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something. I don't care if you have the worst or the best talent. Coaching matters. It really does. It's the difference between going far in the playoffs and not. It really is. So, we already know what's up with that. But anyway, let's get back to these stats. So Zion played 27 minutes, 11 for 15 from the field, 7 for 11 from free throw. He had a total of 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 turnovers, 3 personal fouls. He was 0 in the plus minus with 29 points. Yves Missi, played for 24 minutes. He was 3 for 8 from field. He had 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 blocks, 3 turnovers, 5 personal fouls, and he was a -3 in the plus minus with 6 points. CJ McCollum played for 30 minutes. He was 6 for 16 from the field, 2 for 8 from the 3-point line, 2 for 4 from the free throw line. He had a total of 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, -11 in the plus minus with a total of 16 points. Trey Murphy III played for 36 minutes, 7 for 19 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3-point line, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul, -13 in the plus minus, and a total of 20 points. Going to the bench, Bruce Brown played a total of 22 minutes. He was 2 for 7 from the field, 0 for 1 from behind the arc, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, he was invisible tonight.
Yeah, -20 in the plus minus, which is really bad. Yeah, with a total of 6 points. He wasn't stopping nobody, was he?
And he wasn't doing much of nothing. I'm wondering, like, I don't think he won't be here at this point. It's either that or he's still jet lagged from coming from Toronto or something going on. He looks weird because I've seen him on other teams. He don't look like that though. Like,
yeah, Willie Green trying to play him, like he was playing him 1 through 5. That was crazy that he said that about him. That was the most dumbest thing that you could say. How tall?
He like 6'4", 6'5". They think he's PJ Tucker.
No, he's not. He's not. I mean, come on, man. I mean, make it make sense.
I don't get it.
Carlo Makovich played.
And they was excited about that shit too. That's the thing. It's like, what? Let me look up Bruce Brown because he can't be but maybe 170 pounds. Like, I don't like why they obsessed with trying to make this man something.
Because of how he's played with other teams, but the thing that they're not is that those other teams were better than this team. They had better coaching and probably way better personnel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they had a scheme to fit what they were doing.
Exactly. I mean, he fit in seamlessly, but here he's got to do more than what his skill set. Let's see. Makovich was 3 for 6 from field goal, 0 for 2 from behind the arc, 3 for 3 from free throw line.
My bad, Lex. He 200 pounds. He 6'4", 200 pounds.
Okay, that must be the muscle. But he's got Makovich had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 2 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, +1 in the plus minus with a total of 9 points. Jose Alvarado played 30 minutes. He was 3 for 8 from the field, 1 for 3 from behind the arc, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Had a total of 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul, +4 in the plus minus with a total of 8 points. Antonio Reeves played 4 minutes. And he had 1 assist, 1 turnover, and he was +2 in the plus minus.
That's about the best you could do with 4 minutes.
Yeah. Jordan Hawkins, he played 21 minutes. He was 1 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from behind the arc, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He had a total of 5 rebounds, 1 assist, -11 in the plus minus with a total of 5 points. What are your thoughts on the stats, my brother?
There ain't none. outside of Zion and Trey, there's not very many thoughts. I understand what you were saying earlier about the starting lineup, but just looking at Jose, to point that out, I think he would have had a better showing. Like, he's been starting, and then you just take him out of rhythm like that for no reason. I don't know why they want to change the starting lineup. Maybe it was getting too close to winning, and we actually won the Sacramento game, so it's like, we got to switch stuff up and make sure we lose. But I didn't understand why Jose wasn't starting. In my opinion, I think the offense would have ran a little smoother in the beginning of the game. But looking at Zion, Zion is just on the tear. I guess he's taking out his anger on the Pelicans, just the way he's playing. Like 27 minutes, 29 points. 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Like, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's like that's a normal night, for a superstar in the league. And he did that in 27 minutes, man. It's just ridiculous. And that's light work compared to what he done. What that was Sacramento, where he had 40 on 28 minutes. And like Trey said in them interviews, wish I'd have pulled up some of the clips, maybe I could find them. Trey did a little sit down with one of the guys and talked about Zion, man, and just the impact that he has. And it's insane, to get 40 points in 28 minutes without shooting 3-pointers. Then he was able to get to the line, 11 times. And I think he's gotten a lot more savvy, navigating around the paint. Maybe it's due to, him being a little lighter. He probably can move a little better. But, man, them dudes was trying to do everything to stop Zion, and nobody on the team wasn't really helping him do shit. And he was still just out there scoring. It's crazy. It's crazy. It was like 1-on-5, and he just
yeah. I mean, guys were getting wide open shots and weren't even knocking down the shots. It's just like, dog, how much space do y'all need in order to knock down the shot?
Yeah. I'll be perplexed sometimes with CJ because he's an awesome player, but it's just like some nights he's so good, and then other nights it's just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess up and down sometimes, but it's a make or miss league, they say, right? And sometimes your shot ain't falling. But Trey also didn't have it going tonight. But I like the way he played, even when he don't have it going, and just not expecting to see Trey coming out getting 6 assists. Like, it's crazy to me, Lex. Every time I look at it, and he had he had a game where he had 10 assists, I think, when I was still on my pre-break before the break, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Trey Trey is showing the capabilities of being way better than I thought he would be. I thought his ceiling would be, not that I'm comparing him to Klay Thompson per se, but just like the type of player or the way he would score would be like how Klay Thompson would. And man, he didn't pass that up. The only comparison I could think of for Trey would be like Paul George right now. That's the only person I could think of that I could kind of fit in the mold of what he is. And then some parts of his game still is like different from Paul George.
I would compare him more so to Kevin Porter Jr.
I guess I see it, but he's way more athletic though. Way more. Trey is way more athletic than Kevin Porter Jr. ever was.
I feel like I don't know.
I guess I could see it a little bit though.
His versatility, it's very similar. It's very similar. Yeah. I mean, especially when they played Denver, seeing them next to each other. They both. Did you see the game 1 against Denver?
They had. I think I caught the highlights. I was on the flight when that game was going on. I couldn't catch all of it.
KPJ, he had 35 points and Trey had 40.
They were going back and forth. I need to go sit down and back and watch that one again.
Going back and forth. And then KPJ next game, he came out and gave the Pelicans another 30 piece. So I think he might have had like 20 something in that game. But their games, I'm looking at their games, they're just very similar. You can give or take with the athleticism, leaning more obviously towards Trey. But as far as, how they move, their ball handling skills, obviously they're snipers, they're 3-level scores.
The people saying Michael Porter Jr. Lex. You said Kevin Porter.
I said Kevin Porter. I thought I said Michael. I said MPJ, right? MPJ?
No, I think you said KPJ.
Oh, okay.
It's late in the Pelicans. Then they didn't suck all the joy out of us, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about Porter with the Denver Nuggets, y'all. That's why
everybody know what you're talking about.
Okay, all right. But yeah, my bad about that. If I did say that,
Nah, it's okay.
But
Stacy
real
said
quick,
Rashard Lewis what handles.
uh,
I don't know. I don't see. I used to see it. I don't see it. Now he didn't pass that up to me now.
Hey, Stacey, and he does not have that slingshot.
He's right. He's way more of a lethal shooter
Rashard had a
than Rashard.
slingshot on him, man. He pulled
But he was knocking that thing down, though, man. He was knocking it down.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's still crazy though. Still
He was
crazy.
insane coming out of Houston, though, man. The stories I used to hear about that dude.
Yeah.
Insane basketball player, Rashard Lewis, man. Shout out to him, man. It's one of them players, they kind of get lost in the shuffle of so many great players in the NBA. But
real quick, I had this pulled up, and I also have the Javonte Green. You all know during the break, there was a buyout, so I like.
We had to do right by Javonte Green. That's right. We had to do right by Javonte and buy him out. Huh?
He was like, "Man, get me out of here." But we'll get to that. This is Zion's post-game interview on today, so I'm going to play it. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear it all right. It's coming up. Y'all hear it?
Turn him up a little bit.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, it's all the way up. Hey, good. Just can't hear the question.
Trey's game, in terms of attacking the basket, Medes, becoming a 3-level scorer. But defensively and as a leader, he's grown a lot. Taking on the assignment of wanting to guard Kyrie. Granted, Kyrie had the game he had, but just taking that initiative and thinking in the future that shows a lot of leadership. So, Trey's just, all around, offensively, defensively, and leadership. He's grown. I mean, it's big time. You look at the teams that have won championships and, their best guys are able to, switch 1 through 4, sometimes guard a 5. Depending on who it is, but me and kind of just talked about it. Just the future and how we want to build for the rest of the year. He reads the game really well. Was in our ear about when I flash, look for the, high-low, because it's not something we really incorporate, but, with somebody like that who has a high IQ for the game, he's looking to make that pass. And, I feel like with him, it's not going to take long at all for the chemistry to be there. Absolutely. If he'll have me, the invitation will be accepted.
What was that?
I got to give him his respect.
I don't know. I couldn't hear. You might need to run it back.
But, off the court.
Run it back to try to hear what he said. Damn reporters, man. This has been going on for near 10 years now. We still can't hear the goddamn question.
They can't afford to get the audio right, man. Come on.
You got other people thinking that you can hear their questions loud and clear, man.
All they got to do is go to the churches and get the sound system guy. He get that junk right. For real. Go to one of them.
Come on, Lexxah. They try to stay away from the church now,
Well, go to
the scandal got him away from the church. Baptist church.
I don't know if it's churches. You can go. Look, you can go to a Baptist or you can go to Pentecostal. Go to them churches. I'm telling you, they have their PA system on point. You hear me? They ain't even playing. All right, you go to them type churches. They have that sound system right.
Yeah, big Q out tonight, my man Jedi. He got some things he's dealing with.
In our ear about when I flash, look for the high low, because it's not something we really incorporate. But with somebody like that who has a high IQ for the game, he's looking to make that pass. And I feel like with him, it's not going to take long at all for the chemistry to be there.
Somebody's program. I guess maybe someone Kyrie, maybe.
You'll have me. The invitation will be accepted.
I guess.
I got to give him his respect. Basketball wise, we know what he's done, but off the court, throughout my years in the league, anytime I've had an encounter with him, he always told the truth. But he always had positive message and just stay forward. So a brother like that, OG like
Yeah, you
that,
gotta be talking about Kyrie.
it'd be an honor to play in his program.
It'd be honored to play in what?
His program, the when they had them little leagues after
He
the
always told
season.
the truth. But, he always had positive message and just
Okay. I
stay
rewinded
forward.
it a little
So
bit.
a brother like that, OG like that,
I had to turn my soundboard all the way up the head, and I still barely heard it.
Yeah.
Just a subtle advice that vets would give, if he was on the team. Sometimes, Coach K always said it, dude, the game is so simple that it's crazy. For him, the wisdom he's given me, he'll give me something that seems so simple, yet the impact of it was major. You guys have a great night.
Okay. All right. So that was from Zion Williams. All right. So your thoughts on what Zion said?
I mean, it's pretty much cut and dry. Like I like to hear what he's saying and the camaraderie that he's building with Trey and steadily talking him up and vice versa with Trey. Like I think this will be something. As much as I'm gonna miss Brandon Ingram, this will be something I think that will work out tremendously for those two because they clearly like want to play together and want to feed off each other. So I'm just looking to see that grow. I don't think we're going to see the full maturation of it until next year, obviously, with Zion and the minutes restrictions and the crazy lineups and substitutions and all this
We
nonsense.
might not see it next year either.
We got to see it next year, Lex, because I think going into this year, I don't think the Pelicans, they couldn't have possibly had any idea that Trey would be this good. I think they thought he could take over the Brandon Ingram spot and, hold it down and do a pretty decent job. I don't think they thought he could be this good. Like, at least for us, Trey Murphy can surpass what Brandon Ingram was for us. He ain't there yet, but he can. Like, and you can see flashes of that. Like this dude, if he can figure out the part of Brandon Ingram's game that he mastered, he's got to figure out that mid range because he's not a true 3-level scorer right now. That mid range is lacking. I see him at times, he get kind of jammed up with his handle where I know some other players that could dribble better would have been able to, complete that play or score or continue to drive instead of stopping and have to kick the ball back out. But where he is now versus where he was last year and where he was the year before that and where he was it is so goddamn far that it ain't a doubt in my mind that he gonna figure it out because he wants to figure it out and he ain't gonna stop till he figure it out. That's what I see in a player like him, and I think Zion is recognizing that, talking about his ability to guard Kyrie and wanting to do that. So shout out to him. But also the other part of that, they kind of leaned into the Kyrie thing and him giving, Kyrie a shout out. I thought it was pretty cool because when Kyrie was getting a bad name for a lot of things that were going on, I was always one of the people that spoke up for him because I could see it for what it was, that the dude ain't crazy. He's telling the truth about a lot of stuff, although people might not like or value his opinion. So to see a guy like Zion and some other players around the league too, actually speak very highly of Kyrie, have him in that organization. And I was a player that I always liked Kyrie as a player, but after seeing the Brooklyn thing and all that when he was a free agent, I was like, man, I don't know if I want Kyrie on the Pelicans. He gonna come here and they're gonna try to get KD here. They just mess up everything. But it went totally the opposite direction than I thought it would go with Dallas. I thought he was gonna stay there 1 year and then wind up doing the Laker thing with LeBron. And I always valued him as a person, but as a basketball player, what he's doing, at one point I thought he was hustling the league. You know what I'm saying? But what really was happening is the Brooklyn Nets are a horrible, horrible franchise, and they put a black eye on his name. So,
And I think he was misunderstood, and that's the power of the media. When the media, is trying to push a certain agenda, they don't care who they throw under the bus. Obviously, Kyrie was, he was kind of, kicked to the curb. He didn't have a lot of support, especially during the COVID years. I don't think, and I still feel this way, but, I don't think you should force a person to put something in their body. I actually agree with him on that.
Right.
For those of you all who don't know, and I have studied this, and I have family within the medical field, and I'm talking about siblings and first cousins. It takes 7 to 10 years to test them, okay? 7 to 10 years. So you can see, like, just the effects of what's going into your body. Trust me, these people know what you're putting. Well, somebody knows. All right. And it's just even the same thing, even with your food. You know what I'm saying? Like when you start learning about all these different things, whether it's like in drugs or whether they're, obviously legal, I got to put that up there. Okay. Because guess what? Nobody ever thinks about this. Okay. And guess what? Doctors, they are certified drug dealers. Nobody ever thinks about that. Everybody thinks a drug dealer.
I do.
But I'm saying, like, just on the surface, nobody, like a lot of people, as far as on the surface, do not look at doctors as drug dealers, and they are, just like the ones on the street. The only thing is, the government says that, hey, if you get it from the doctor, it's legal. If you get it from the streets, it's illegal, and that's the only difference. Okay, so
the type of drugs you get is a little different too.
Yeah. But hey, think about this. Okay. Since you say that, guess what? Weed at one point in time was illegal, right? Now what is it?
It's legit. It shouldn't have never been
because
illegal.
why? Because they found a way to tax it. That's the only reason. It all has to come back to money. They want to figure out how to tax it so they can get their cut. That's all it has to do with. That's it. That's the only thing. But other than that, man, they could care less. So obviously, because coke used to be legal, but when a whole bunch of people started falling off the roof and stuff during break time, you know what I'm saying? They started like, okay, there's something wrong.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so y'all go do y'all's history. I ain't gonna do all of it right now, but that's what happened. But the main thing on why some things are legal and some things are not is the government's ability to tax it. That is
no representation without taxation, baby.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, I just want to throw that out there. For those who don't know, and if you do know, kudos.
Yeah, but I think the
why are you saying
the shot thing was one thing with Kyrie, but the thing that really put the nail in the coffin was his views on that Jewish documentary. Boy,
You know what?
That one, and it's
But I'm
well,
a alone.
well, I mean, when you start hitting too much truth, in the profession,
Whose truth you talking about?
the truth, the truth that can't be, denied when you actually do your research and see what the real truth is versus, what the belief may be, So when you start hitting that, especially on a media platform where you have the opportunity to reach millions of people, they only have two options. They can completely eliminate you in some fashion, whether they don't have to kill you, but they can eliminate your voice, your ability to speak, just basically kill your career, right? And then the other thing they're gonna do, which still ties into number one, is they got to make you look crazy.
Yeah.
They got to make you look crazy, and that just lets you know when they do that to people.
Yeah, crucifying.
They telling the truth, and they don't want that particular truth to be out there. So shout out to him for standing on business though, and kind of never really wavering. Even his apology wasn't really an apology. If you listen to it, I'm like, that is a real clever way to apologize, Kyrie. It's really clever.
Well, I mean, you know what? Really,
I'm sorry how it made you feel.
It really did not warrant an apology. It really didn't, because basically, I mean, this all came from a post of a book that he posted on Twitter. He just posted it. He was like, man,
I know, it was crazy. It was crazy.
And it blew up.
Crazy.
And they're like, why do you have that post on? It's like, dog, like, I just posted a book. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to control what, I guess, what these guys are posting on their pages and things. And it's not like it was like something like outrageous, like porn or something. I mean, it was a book. And
must have been a powerful book, Lex.
Well, I mean, the thing is, he was like, man, they sell it on Amazon. I mean, he he was like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying?
Nobody censored Jeff Bezos though, right?
And really, I think the fact that they made it a point to bring it up, that made people want to go and buy it. Now you're it's like, okay, what about this book is causing uproar?
Well,
it made you want to go and buy it. Okay, let me see what this book is talking about.
You got some people, they're so smart that they're stupid, That's that group of people. So they demonize it. It's supposed to turn everybody away, but sometimes they can't read the room, It just made a lot of people go look into it. Like, you're absolutely right. But the crazy thing to me is, like, you think about these players and why they get paid millions of dollars, and there's reasons like that, because they want them to push certain narratives, and Kyrie just happened to be on the standpoint of two things that they didn't want to be pushed at the time, which is always, they don't want that one to be pushed, with the book, but and the shots, that they wanted the NBA players to be fully in line with the shots to promote that.
Yeah, and they were getting everybody and their mama to try to push that on support.
They want to push that on everybody.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, look, you're my favorite player, but I'm not doing that junk. I'm not doing that. So, but you know what?
I don't do shots. I know people who got shot. They said that hurt. You know what I'm saying? And it burned.
They said that
it hurt and it burned.
Well, you know what?
When I went to the doctor, them shots, that's the same philosophy I got.
I better not hear them same people talking about, they afraid of needles, like they got a tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's funny. Some people
that's different.
No, it's not.
It's different.
It is still a needle. Is it still a needle, y'all?
It's an ink pen.
Tattoo. Huh?
Not if you get a prison tat.
Okay. Okay. Well, you have more information in that area than I do. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about
All
that.
right, all right. Moving on. Let's go. We done went all the way left. Let's get back to some Pelicans
Okay,
talking
see,
points. You see how happy we got when we stopped talking about the Pelicans though? Look at that.
I do want to say this though, man. It would have been nice to see Kyrie and Zion, some of the best finishers in the game, on the same
I
team.
know, right?
That would have been
Hey,
nice.
Lex, come on, don't do that.
You know,
You gonna have Zion be a Dallas Maverick. Come on, Lex.
you know what?
That would have been if Kyrie came here. That
look,
would have been
look,
fire though. That'd
don't
have
call
been
me
fire.
out this, y'all. Okay, let's go Dallas. Let's
Yeah,
go Mavs.
not you, Lex. Oh man, would they retarded ass GM really?
Look, hey, look. Who do you want?
That
Jameson
boy
Kidd or
had
Willie Green?
Hey, I'm gonna take J Kidd. I wanted J Kidd before Willie Green came here. To be honest,
Look. Okay, you ready for this one? Y'all ready for
people,
this
people
one?
be forgetting like J Kidd was there to start up Giannis and what he is, and he gets no
Yeah,
credit for that.
yeah.
It's
Y'all
just
tell me
crazy to me.
who y'all want? Y'all want David Griffin or Nico Harrison?
Damn, that's crazy. Because as bad as Nico is, Lex, at least he do something. I think I'll probably still take him over David Griffin, bro. But
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you would have to deal with like him trading Zion for Zach LaVine or some dumb shit like that. He would have definitely did that to us.
Oh my gosh. Look, Stacy said Kyrie Irving would never come to play for Griff again. And that
He's
is true.
right. He's right about that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's got a bad rap, man. He's got a bad rap. That's how you know ain't nothing about to happen with the Pelicans with
Does
him.
he really have a bad rap, or are they just telling the truth?
Both. Both.
He ain't shit.
Yeah, he really isn't. He don't know what he's doing. Look, and I
It would
we
be
know
so much better if he knew he didn't know what he was doing. You know, that would make everything all right.
I think
You
he
really,
does. He just
you
too
think
some.
you do? The way he talk, you gotta really believe some of that bullshit he be saying to kick it. Like he really
Yeah,
delusional like that.
but he is very very political, man. I mean, and he's been getting by doing that. He's been getting by doing that. I mean, this is the
Mhm.
same guy who drafted, Anthony Bennett. This is the same guy that
Tried to pair
Rich
Deion Waiters
Paul,
up with Kyrie. That
yeah,
shit didn't work.
yeah, Rich Paul basically told Griff to trade for DeJounte Murray. I mean, think about that. And he admitted that.
Why would you admit that though?
Huh?
Why would you admit that? It's almost like throwing shit
Crazy.
on us after everybody was saying like, man, we need to go get Trey Young, and then you come up there and say that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe you couldn't get Trey Young, but I guess we'll never know. But man, like to come out and say the guy's agent told you to go get him, and that's what you.
Yeah.
It's like, bro.
Yeah. It really is something, man. It really is something. Yeah, it is. I mean, and I will say this, Stacy. Bruce Brown, he and Caldwell Pope were X factors in that championship run. They really were. Like Bruce Brown, he earned that, but he really worked well in that system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he had great players around him, a great system.
Yeah, they want to talk about, be like, oh yeah, because they using that. But see what?
He did it with Brooklyn too. He was good with Brooklyn like that too, Lex. So he did it with more than one team.
Well, not a championship.
Nah, but
I'm just saying because that's the highlight. That's the ultimate highlight to win an NBA championship, to have that on your resume. So yeah, they're gonna use that. But the only thing about it is, dog, look where Bruce Brown is coming from and then coming to. There's a huge difference. You don't have a coaching staff like the Denver Nuggets. You don't have a system like the Denver Nuggets. You don't have a front office like the Denver Nuggets. You don't have an identity like the Denver Nuggets. There's a huge difference. So when you talk about that championship, same thing when they talk about the Warriors. And we know how much Griff and the wannabe GM, I forget his name for right now. Same thing with Willie Green. They still bring up the Warriors. Why? I really don't know, because this organization and this team is nowhere near a Warriors pedigree. Nowhere near that. They're nowhere near having the personnel or any of that.
So you mean having Willie Green don't make us like the Warriors? He was the coach for the Warriors, Lex.
He was an assistant coach, and
We
that
got Trey Murphy shooting from the logo.
Trey Murphy, yes, he's improved. Trey Murphy is no Steph. Trey Murphy is no Clay. Okay, let's make that clear. Am I wrong? Did I say something wrong?
But Zion Williamson, David Griffin said he's a supercharged Draymond Green.
All right, I'm about to beat you with a fish. I'm about to go down to one of those nice beaches down in Jamaica.
That was the last one, Lex. I can't say that. I can't say that shit. Leave that one out. I can't leave that one out. That man really said that.
Yeah,
He really said, and that was the nail in the coffin for me. I knew it was gonna be fucked up for a while. That came after he said Drew Holiday has permission to dominate. Then he proceeded to say, "Oh my God, Zion Williamson is a supercharged Draymond Green." I say, "Whoa, Q, what the fuck? Did you hear this shit?" I couldn't believe what I was in. But yeah, he said it.
All right.
That's right, Jedi. Good organizations look beyond the results.
Oh my gosh. Do that again.
Good organizations look beyond the results.
You know what? I heard a little bit of Trump up in there. Do it again. That was hilarious.
Good organizations look beyond the results. What does that shit even mean?
Oh my goodness. Well,
oh man.
You got to speak on it from an organic standpoint.
I would rather hear Ricky Bobby Daddy, man. If you ain't first, you last. I'd rather him say that shit.
Oh my gosh. I do want to say this. We appreciate everybody being in here on tonight. Appreciate y'all's commentary. This show would not be anything without you all. So we definitely appreciate you all being up in here. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share it on your social media and all that good stuff. So, because we are trying to grow the stream, as Big Q would say. Real quick, let's go to this article about Javonte Green. He agrees to Appel's buyout.
No, of course he does. Like,
okay.
Why did he have the option to agree? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
Calm down, man. Okay, can y'all see that?
Shit.
All right, let's see how long this is.
Can I agree to a buyout for the rest of the season? I'll be back next year. I just want to get brought up for the rest of the season.
All right, so it's just this right here. Okay. So it says New Orleans Pelicans forward Javonte Green has agreed to a contract buyout and intends to sign with the Cleveland Cavaliers upon clearing waivers, sources told ESPN on Wednesday. The expected deal provides additional wing depth for the Eastern Conference best Cavaliers, and it comes after they landed forward DeAndre Hunter from the Atlanta Hawks in a trade for Karis LeVert.
Boy, they going for it.
Gorgeous Niang? Is that or Georges? I don't know.
I think it's Georges Niang.
Okay. All right, Georges Niang, future second round picks and pick swaps at the deadline. Green would provide Cleveland with another wing option against the Celtics duo of superstar wings Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. The buyout comes after Green played a season-high 34 minutes for the Pelicans in their final game before the All-Star break. Green started in place of a resting Zion Williamson and had 9.7 rebounds, 5 steals, and 2 assists in an overtime win over the Sacramento Kings on Thursday. Green joined the Pelicans as a free agent in August and has averaged 5.8 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 1.1 steals. He is ranked second on the team in both total blocks and steals. The Cavaliers will be the 4th team for Green in his 6th NBA season. He is averaging 5.5 points and 3.2 rebounds in his career. Thoughts on that? DC?
I mean, I barely could let you get through the article before I expose my thoughts. Like it's just so wild to me that you know we buy out Javante Green. Like they had so many teams. I was hearing like in trade, you know, talks, and you couldn't get nothing for him. Like I know they probably was sending you a shitty player back, right? But they would at least give you a second round pick. I think you could have got a second round pick. Why not just do that and then buy out the shitty player you're getting back? Like why just buy out Javante Green for nothing? Now I know we've given the other Brandon, you know, our replacement Brandon Ingram. I can't even remember. I'm forgetting his last name. Brandon Boston. You know, baby Brandon Ingram, BB. You know what I'm saying? We're giving him a contract, so that's good. Happy about that. You know, although they didn't really release the terms of the contract, so they probably just signed the man to a 1-year deal. Huh?
Where was he tonight? Brandon
I think he's hurt, if I'm not mistaken.
What? Serious walk?
He definitely was inactive. They don't even have him on the DMP list on the thing. But let me look on the Pels stuff and see about their injuries. But yeah, I think he was hurt. Yeah, he was out with an ankle.
Oh, okay.
His ankle hurt. So
did that in practice or something?
Nah, I remember him being hurt for he didn't play the Sacramento game either. So he must have a real bad ankle sprain, you know, just like the other Brandon.
Okay.
The irony, right? But look, I like Brandon Boston. I think he's an awesome player, and I hopefully we have him next year. But this Javante Green thing, when I saw it, I just couldn't do nothing but laugh, man. I was like,
I think a lot of people laughed about it.
How in the hell? It's one thing to buy out somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't want him to buy out CJ McCollum. You know, I wouldn't want that. But that would make sense. You know, a player like that, somebody who has done something. Even what's the dude who was just talking about? Bruce Brown. Now these people, both of those people make a tremendous amount of money. So unless you like paying half the salary or something, a buyout wouldn't make sense. But just that type of player that has done something, proven they can be a piece in the championship, and you know they came here with these great aspirations, and you know we've done them dirty, so to speak, and we trying to make it right. But Javante Green, not that he's a good player. I like Javante. I kind of like him on his team. I just wish we would have had a better coach that had utilized him better. But I like Javante, but the Pels buying him out, to me, it's just so wow, man. It's like, how do we treat top tier players by not doing right by them and putting the right stuff around them like shit, and then we got other guys that come like middle of the pack, you know, just a guy who was off on the bench on somebody else's team and he plays starter minutes for us, and we rolling out the red carpet for him. Buying him out so he can go pursue a championship. Yeah, this shit is crazy.
You know what I think? I think Javante and his agent, you know, I don't think he wanted to be with the Pelicans.
Hell no, I don't blame him for not wanting. I wouldn't want to be with the goddamn Pelicans.
He came from Chicago, right?
Right.
Javante Green came from Chicago. Chicago was already straddling the fence. Then you come to the Pelicans and they're doing worse. Like really, 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 really bad. Yeah, really bad. Like I already dealt with this, something similar to with Chicago. I want to be a part of something. I want to play in the playoffs. And so, I mean, I get it. And somebody like him, he's a good piece on a contending team because he's a hustle guy. He knows his role. He knows he knows what he can offer, and how he can, just position himself to be an asset to the team. And so when you look at that, I mean, between his hustle, his energy, just what he does on defense, you put that with a winning coach, a winning coaching staff, a winning organization, a winning team, and he can just slide up in there. It's not something that you have to spend a whole lot of time to figure out. I mean, it's like he's perfect, but he could have went anywhere. He could have went to any contending team because he's that type of role player. He's a strong role player who hustles and he does the dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a good size. He has very good size. So
All these things are true, but I still don't understand how he had a cashier to get brought up by the goddamn Pelicans.
you know what? How many people have fleeced David Griffin?
Pretty much everybody who went to office
I
with,
mean,
except for JJ Redick, because JJ Redick will not let that shit go.
yeah.
He lied to me. He lied to me because we traded him to Dallas to get a pick for him instead of sending him wherever he wanted to go for free, I guess. But yeah, man, it comes to a point where you got to make good business decisions. I understand Javante probably wouldn't have wanted to get traded to another team. He wanted to go where he wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think a guy like that, man, you gotta get something. You're getting rid of something, a guy that people want. Like, get something for him. Like, he was in all type of trade talks. At one point, I thought we might keep Daniel Tice and be trading Javante Green. So I don't see him as a player we would have had to give up a second round pick to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's a little crazy.
Bless me. All right. I guess last few thoughts. Did you have anything that you wanted to go over? Because I know it's been a week. I do want to ask you this. I just thought about something.
What's up?
So, what did you think about All-Star Weekend?
You know what I thought? Absolutely nothing, because I ain't watched this shit. When they told me that the All-Star game was going to be the rookies or the rising stars, people playing, I was like, what is the point of that shit? Oh, so they can make it more competitive? Yeah. I'm like, man, them dudes still going to go out there and play half speed against some damn rookies? Like, what is that going to do?
I knew exactly what they were doing, man. I mean, the thing is, you got the new kids on the block coming in, and it's like, okay, so what's this? I mean, it's one of them ego type things. Like, so y'all gonna let the new kids on the block beat y'all?
No, I get that part of it.
That was the whole purpose of that.
I get the part of it, but they got this thing, Lex, called skill. You know what I'm saying? And these dudes have been in the league building skills that these rookies don't have. So, okay, they could still go out there, play the same intensity or low level they was going to play, and be able to beat these dudes. Because they just don't possess the skills to play at the level that they at.
Well,
so it's like
trying the best that they could, but I think
what Stacey talking about with hockey? What hockey did, Stacey? What did they do? He said they got it right.
Yeah,
I'm not much of a hockey watcher.
Yeah, he came out and talked about just the whole All-Star Weekend in the NBA and all that stuff. He was very critical.
What, the people in the NFL? The NHL did that?
No, there was I forget his name. Do you remember his name, Stacey? I think I can pull him up. He was with Stephen A. Hold on.
One of the guys who covers the NHL, media person.
Yeah, he joined Stephen A. to share his thoughts on the All-Star Weekend. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah,
but the sad thing about All-Star Weekend is, I'm cursed, Lex. I'm cursed with being an '80s baby. You
Are you still
know,
there?
like yeah, you can't hear me.
Oh yeah, now I can. Yeah, you just kind of went out,
Oh, I
but
say
yeah,
I
you
say the
came
thing
back.
about All Star Weekend is I'm cursed with being an '80s baby. I had the privilege of seeing the All Star game, not like a few times, but like pretty much my whole lifespan growing up till almost I was an adult. Where yeah, even in my adult years, they still were. Where people they played that game with such a competitiveness. It was a regular NBA game, minus some of the dirty plays. Like guys
Yeah.
didn't go as far doing some of the things like they might have played a little harder during the regular season. Like you try to hurt your ass or them sneak rib shots and all. They wouldn't do any of that. But they played and they wanted to win, and it had nothing to do with money. They wanted to win because they wanted to be the best. And it's like now, I guess, with social media and just the mentality you have of social media era, people can not be the best, but if they posture themselves or take pictures of themselves a certain way or have a certain image they were able to build, whether that be true or not, everybody feel like they the greatest. So hey, I guess they feel like they ain't playing for nothing. There's no more I guess individual pride in that aspect and everybody getting the big money. So I don't know what the NBA I don't know what they can do to bring it back. Like it almost has to be a shift in mentality or culture for the NBA. And I don't know what they can do to go about cultivating that culture other than treating things more fairly far as some of these outrageous calls and all of that shit. Maybe if they lay up off of that, that could
Mhm.
in turn start changing the culture of the game. Because I know if I'm a player and you watching games every night, and then you see how certain teams might get shafted on some of these calls. At what point does your desire or your desire to win every single night or every single game start to wane a little bit? I think people may like we see games where teams get blowed out, like they're quicker to quit because they're not getting the calls or whatever. Like they don't have that tenacity to fight through every night. And I think great players, always find a way to overcome that. But when you're dealing with guys that are maybe just good and not great,
Mhm.
that becomes a problem. And I think that's the culture we're seeing. People more about the money. I don't think you're gonna see as many people if we keep going on the same path. You're gonna see as many players like worrying about getting the championship or ring chasing. Like they got the bag, so they don't care. They don't care about the gold jacket. Like if I can get gold jacket money without having to get a gold jacket, so what? you know, and that mentality just spills over to me into the All Star game to the point where we got the slam dunk competition. And don't get me wrong, Pat McClung, he is awesome. He's one of the best dunkers I've seen. I ain't taking nothing away from him, but you got people talking about he the best dunker ever. Like there was
I
no
don't know
Vince
about
Carter,
that.
like there was no Dominique Wilkins, and like these type of people. I mean,
He
come
only
on,
had
man.
two
Come
dunks
on.
in
Come
a
on, man. He just
game.
keeps jumping over people's head and dunking, with reverses. Like it's cool, but you got your niche. I get it, but so it's just that type of stuff. Uh, I would like to see it change, but I don't know how you go about changing it because
You
there's
know
no
what?
incentive for them players to do it.
The change is not hard. I mean, the thing is that golly, guys. I mean,
You got to
if
be
you
more authentic, though, Lex.
if
They
they
don't want to
don't,
be that.
but offering more money, that's not working.
They don't care about money.
And that's what they've been doing. They're trying to offer more money. I don't want to know how much money you're offering for the winner and all that stuff. Like, dude, if you're playing basketball, okay, All-Star Weekend is really for the fans. It's to put on a show. It's so we can see the best of the best of the best going at it and competing. Like, I think one thing that made me upset, and it had Chris Paul written all over it. What Chris Paul and Wemby, what they did in the
Oh,
skills
that was messed up.
was ridiculous. It's like, and that That's the junk we talking about. And Chris Paul, he should have known better. It's like, dog, for real. You gonna do that? I mean, just like, dog, y'all ain't like you.
Wait, Lex. Wait. I don't know. I guess we look at it different because you looking at it like what Chris Paul did was messed up. I'm looking at it like, man, they went above and beyond to try to win, and then they got cut off at the knees. They was cheating to try to win within the rules.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's like, the competitiveness. So it's like
no, dog. Show your skill set. That ain't how you're. That's not how you're shooting in a game.
Change the rules.
Why would you think that I want to, as a supporter? Why would you think I want to see that junk in a scene like what?
Didn't they say it was actually Wemby? Draymond Green exposed it and said it was Wemby's idea and not Chris Paul. Because he heard Wemby going around. Wemby went around and he asked several other referees if it was okay for him to do that. He asked a bunch of Draymond said he asked maybe 5 or 6 different people, or 5, 6 to 7 times. He kept asking people, and he said, "Yeah, I could just go out there," and they said it was fine.
But why would somebody like a vet, Chris Paul, be like, go with that? Like, no, come on, man.
Because he wanted to win.
Man, Chris Paul is a very strong-minded person. Be like, dog, we ain't doing that junk. Nah, we gonna go out there and we gonna show our skills. Why didn't you go that way with it?
He wanted to win because the skills challenge. It sucks anyway.
Then win and show your skills.
He did. They showed how smart they was.
No, well, you know what? It really showed how dumb they were. Especially by them, you talking about a floor general, a quarterback on a basketball court, right?
Technically, they didn't do it. They didn't do anything wrong, no, Lex. They didn't break any rules. It was all within the rules.
You went.
But I get what you're saying. They went too far
because the NBA front office dude came down and showed them the rules. So you were talking to the wrong people. You went around to all the refs to ask them the question, dog. You should have went to the league. You should have went to them because they're the ones who brought the rules down to them and said that they were disqualified. You went to the wrong people.
I like it because it shows to me that they was really trying to win in competitions and in the weekend where nobody gives a shit about winning for real.
DC.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
No, come on, man. Come on. I mean, that's just like seeing football moves in basketball. Like
all the best players I ever seen, it was cheaters, Lex.
If you're doing that, like, dog, come on, man. Shoot a real shot. Shoot a real shot. Like, do you see the state of the All-Star weekend as a whole? And you gonna do that junk? You see how everybody's like, man, I ain't watching it. I'm excited about it. With everything, all the negative talk on All-Star weekend, you're coming out and doing that. Is that what we want? Is that how you help the All-Star weekend, or is that how you hurt it?
I don't think it helped or hurt it, to be honest. Like, nobody really cares about the skills challenge anyway. I've never had anybody run up to me, man, did you see the skills challenge? The All-Star weekend is about the slam dunk competition, the 3-point shootout used to be. I don't even know who the hell shot this year. Did they even have one?
Tyler Hero won.
Okay.
And it was between him and Buddy Hield.
So. It was about the 3-point shootout. And it was about the All-Star game. Like, they start adding the skills challenge and the rising stars. Like, man, that shit footnotes. The celebrity game, and nobody cares about that. And my whole 40-some-odd years of living, nobody ever ran up to me talking about the goddamn skills challenge. Well, I mean, that's only probably been around for what, maybe the last 10, 12 years they've been doing the skills challenge?
It's been around long, but I know when D-Wade did it, D-Wade went out there and did his thing. I mean, it was exciting.
They did. But I was never excited about the skills challenge. I was waiting for that to get over to get to the real stuff.
It's not just the skills challenge, though. I'm saying I feel like all of this stuff contributes to the same thing. You know, people want to be excited about the whole thing, not just bits and pieces. And it very well, obviously, more weight is held with the dunk contest, with the 3-point contest, with the actual All-Star game. Those hold more weight compared to anything. But let me tell you something. In the Rising Stars Challenge, you remember when Kyrie was in that thing? That was exciting when he went 1-on-1 with Brandon Knight.
I don't remember that because, like I said, I was always it was about the All-Star game for me. I don't remember.
But hey, man, I
But
look
I'm
at
gonna trust you on that. I'm gonna trust you on
some
that.
exciting stuff. Kyrie, you see what he did with Wemby in the All-Star game when he did that move to Wemby.
You talking about this year?
Yes.
I ain't watch it, Lex.
Okay. Then what are we talking about? What are we talking about, man?
I knew it was gonna be garbage when they told me the format. So like, what I'm watching it for? I ain't watched the All-Star game when they went to start picking captains. They started picking captains and all of that shit, and it wasn't about like East and West anymore because it was a pride. It was a pride for the East wanting to say that they was better than the West, right? Yeah. And they killed it. They went away from. They started with the uniforms. When they took the uniforms away, like that was the beginning of the end.
Kobe, I think after Kobe, man, it was different. Because I think the last one that was really exciting. I know Kobe, man.
Let's go to the next topic.
What?
Nothing, my man. Primetime said go to the next topic.
No, I'm just saying, like, hey, man. Remember when he was guarding LeBron? Like he was guarding LeBron like full court, and then he blocked him a few times. Like he was really getting after it, and I think KG was in there too. But that was really exciting, man. They were actually going at it. Shoot, there was one, man. Like they actually showed some highlights. Even Allen Iverson and like Vince. I know that was like a while ago, but they were showing them highlights. Man, that was nice. They came back from 20 down, man.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, golly,
that was awesome. Like, then when Kobe was playing Jordan, like that's when the All-Star. It was at its peak.
That was
like,
exciting.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was awesome.
It was really exciting. But yeah, Kyrie, the way he was, he went 1-on-1 with Wemby. Man, he did Wemby so wrong, man. Kyrie always get Wemby though. He be doing. I'm like, man, don't be doing that shifty stuff with me. But Kyrie be mean to me.
I mean, the dude, he's 7'4", Lex. You know what I'm saying? He got to have some type of flow.
Hey,
he's 7'4", can shoot 3-pointers and dribble. He got to have some flow.
Everybody was watching. Like, if you go like on social media and probably look at everybody's face, like all the players, they were watching it and they were like, ooh. It was nasty, all the moves he was doing to Wemby. But that's similar to what he did with Brandon Knight. And that Rising Stars game, that was exciting, man. When Kyrie was that was his second year?
Second year in the league, huh?
Yeah. But I mean, so sometimes you do see some good things. I mean, obviously, as time's gone along, I don't think we've seen anything else like that. Anybody else who sticks out. But I sure didn't like. I think the All-Star games were a total of like 40 minutes, I do believe, or 40. And everything else, like commercials and everything, was like for 3 hours. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that the game went to 40 because I was like, why are we taking a break and it's only 11-1? You know what I'm saying? Did anybody else see that? Did anybody else see that?
Well, I mean, like, they're trying to take it a little easier to ensure that they don't get hurt and all of that.
No, but you know what? Don't nobody get hurt. Nobody gets hurt for real in the All-Star game. Has anybody ever got a major?
No, but I mean, like, I can see this when they talk about the game being more competitive. I see the players saying, "Well, we don't want to get injured." And So I would imagine injury is a conversation that always pops up in the function of the All-Star game. We haven't, but that don't mean you're not gonna still try to be proactive and stay in front of stuff and not have a situation before it starts.
It's like that.
Well, I mean, these players get hurt way more than they got hurt in the past. Like,
yeah, I know. That's because That's because in training camp,
They don't do training camps no more. Right. They don't have no real training camp.
Man, Antonio Daniels talks about that, man. Like, in order to really get your body prepared, and I think I asked you this, Stacy. We got on this topic because I related it to the military or the army. How long do they train before they go to battle? You know what I'm saying? Is it 2 weeks? Hello, DC, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. You said how long do they train before they go to battle in the military?
Yeah,
I couldn't. You had cut out. I couldn't hear you finish it.
Yeah, I was saying, like, how long do they train in the army and the military? And 6 months.
What is it like? It's 6 months.
It ain't no 2 weeks though.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's.
I mean, you got to go 6 weeks just before you considered a part of the military boot camp, right?
Let's go, but let's go to the NFL then. How long do they train before they have, you know, preseason and all that stuff?
It's like 3 months, pretty much.
What did you say?
3 months, damn near.
Isn't that interesting? It's more than a month. So if you at least make training camp for the NBA at least a month, and that's what it used to be. Antonio Daniels talked about that all the time. These guys, their bodies are not ready for the rigors of the 82 game season. And that's what the problem is. You have to prepare your body. You got to prepare. I mean, it really is not hard. Instead of going forward, they went backwards. And now they like just like Stan Van Gundy said, Stan Van Gundy pointed out on Twitter, and KD was agreeing with him. But he pointed out, you know, it's interesting how you have all this performance and training and medical staff, these extensive performance training and medical staff, okay, and all this other stuff, but yet players are getting hurt, like day in and day out. Because back in the day, they didn't have those extensive performance and training staffs. They didn't have a medical staff, but guys played. They played longer. They were healthier. And I just think that's really something like, okay, that's a true oxymoron. So are the performance and training staffs really making a difference?
Damn, basic training 10 weeks? I thought it was 6 weeks.
Who?
No, I said in the military. I thought basic training was 6 weeks. You say it's 10 weeks.
Okay, so 10 weeks. 4 weeks is a month. 4 weeks is a month. All I'm saying is if you have the military prepping their bodies, prepping their minds, anything else you think of to add to that, you know, to prepare for whatever they're about to do, go overseas, whatever. Same thing with the NFL, in the NHL or any other sport. But if you take at least a month, I just feel like guys will be more prepared for an 82 game season by taking a month and really preparing their bodies. And I mean going at it. And Antonio Daniels, he talked about that when he was with the Spurs. He's like, man, we went at it, you know, every single day, getting our bodies prepared for that 82 game season. And the thing is, when that happens, when you're able to do that, I mean, your body's going to hold up because you're basically telling your body, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to take these hits. I'm ready to be quick, you know, as far as with agility and getting after it. And, you know, all those small details that you need to do in order to perform at a high level on the court. I mean, you gotta change that. Sometimes in order to go forward, you got to go back to what was working. And I don't know if their concept was saving money, but if you ask me, hey man, you ain't saving money having these extensive performances.
I wonder if it was the players. Was it the players that came up with this? You have the player presidents that are there, you know, voting on the behalf of the players for a lot of these things that are passed. And we know the training camp is like, I guess it's like practice. It's one of them things you don't everybody doesn't always like it, or players might feel like they don't need practice, and it's one of the things where maybe they didn't want it to be as long. They wanted their break to be, better so they could do more stuff in the off season for us living their life. Maybe that was the thing. I mean, can we really blame the NBA? Do we really know who had the decision on it? Because we know out of all the major sports leagues, the NBA is the one where the players, they have a lot of power, even more so than a lot of the other ones. So,
do they? Because how's the All-Star weekend going?
I don't think the players give a shit about the All-Star weekend, and that shows. The All-Star weekend don't suck because of the NBA. The NBA has made changes to the All-Star weekend after the Kobe era, before they went to this voting stuff, because it just sucked after that. And it was the same, but it started sucking. So they tried to make it better, and it actually just made it worse. It's just going to have to go back to what it was before. And we just have to settle for whatever that is, because whatever they're doing now, it's definitely not helping.
It's just crazy. All right, I'm gonna play this for a little bit. I may not play
what you got here.
This is the guy who was talking about. He's the NHL. This guy right here. Do you see my mouse?
Mm-hmm.
This guy right here. He was talking about. He played in the NHL, and he was talking about All-Star Weekend. Play this.
I want to start with you. What's your reaction to what PK had to say covering the NBA all these years?
I don't know enough about the NHL to really be able to take a hard position on this. However, I do know about the culture of NHL teams, and I agree they're completely different from the NBA. The sports are so vastly different. The way the game is played, because there's so much substitution in hockey, where the top players are only on the ice for, correct me if I'm wrong, PK, I'm out of my depth. They're on the ice for 15 or 18 minutes a game, whereas the top NBA players are on the court for 40 minutes. The nature of the games are different. So when you're out there, you're playing to exhaustion in hockey and you come off. It's extremely different. I don't even know how you could compare them. I would say that there is a situation in the NBA right now where there isn't enough emphasis put on the everyday, and that's by the players. That's by the fans. That's by the media. We don't celebrate, in my opinion, enough.
I don't understand why we always got to listen to talk about sports.
That happen on a day-to-day basis in February.
On a high level, we ain't never played.
And that is, I think, a cultural issue.
You know what? I always see Clawhauser from Zootopia with the donut in his neck.
It's like I don't even see it. Like I can understand somebody talking about that.
Dickens.
I can understand somebody talking about the NBA who ain't make it professionally or whatever. Like, you don't have to play professional. He just looked like he didn't even go outside and play basketball in front of the house.
Man, he looked
like how you talk about anything sports, bro? Like,
look at them
crazy. Just crazy to me.
He's a donut lord. All right.
Everybody was going around the corner to play ball. He going to Krispy Kremes, huh?
Look, by the time he got there, shoot, he had it all that way back home, walking back home, eating them. Oh man! All right, here we go, man.
To address that, it's a tough situation for me because I don't know how to compare them, but I do generally agree the NBA has some culture challenges. I just don't know if mimicking hockey solves them.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up.
You know how they do, man.
Capital One got something to say about it.
Yeah, we know. We don't want to hear him. Where is the skip button?
You got to sit through this shit.
Okay.
I think the overall investment that the top players are willing to make throughout the regular season, especially in a platform like All-Star Weekend, is different than what we're seeing with NHL players in the Four Nations Face-Off, which has been a huge success. And I guess that's my biggest problem, because when I came into the NFL, and it's not all dissimilar from players that came into the NBA, but I was told by my veteran players, leave the game in better shape than you found it. And that comes along with an obligation to take advantage of every opportunity to grow the game, to grow the fan base. And that includes what you do in the regular season. And of course, what you do when the entire sports world is focusing on the celebration of the game, which is All-Star Weekend. And the fact that the festivities around All-Star Weekend have fallen so flat, where the NBA is in this constant posture of having to change and tweak the format in order to get the players to be more engaged, is an indictment on the culture that the players have let lax when it comes to their participation in those festivities.
Stephen A.
Hold on.
To me, it's offensive. As you guys saw in Get Up, obviously I was emotional about speaking because I'm speaking on behalf of the players, right? As a newly removed athlete out of the sport. And to me, it's offensive to the approach, to my approach to the game, but also the players that I know, that I was around, that I idolized. It's offensive to the way that they approached the game. And in this sport, in hockey, you can't approach the game any other way because you will get hurt. It's not an option to go out and compete. It's not an option to be willing to fight. You have to do those things in our sport, and you have to do those every night. Now, the question is, why isn't that demand on the NBA players every night?
I mean,
that's a question I can't ask, because here's the reality. Does it come down to rule changes and what the NBA wants to do to protect themselves? No, I don't even give them that out. I'll go back to this. You know, obviously we know about Wilt Chamberlain and some of the guys that started earlier on before my time. But to me, the NBA took off with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. They set the tone for Michael Jordan, then ultimately Kobe Bryant, then LeBron, Steph, KD, and all those guys now. But Larry Bird and Magic Johnson carved the path for Kobe, for Jordan, for LeBron. So for this generation now, my question is, are you carving a better path? Are you leaving a better league for the future of the NBA, or are you not? And that's why I'm all in on hockey, because these guys, year after year, decade after decade, it's been a slow process in growing the game. Yes, it's not growing. It didn't grow as fast as we wanted to get to this point. But why is that? Because the team aspect. No one's bigger than the game. And I've had, coming into hockey, being a guy who has personality, different interests, I was up against that.
I think Stacey was saying that about the NFL too. How the
NFL a Hall of Famer? Stacey said he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah.
My bad. Let's go ahead.
No, I remember Stacey on the last family stream talking about how the NFL is designed that way. It's about the team, and there's no player that's bigger than the game. And that's why when looking at the NFL, that's why they're thriving. That's why they're doing well, because they really have fans dialed into the team, not so much as the player. So if a player moves, it's like, man, I really like him, but hey, I'm still all Team Eagles or Team Patriots or, Team Ravens, whatever team you're on. You know what I'm saying? It's more designed that way. And I guess, when you look at the NBA, and this, I don't know, I think it may have something to do with shoe deals too.
It could do, but there's two things I can point out that's different. One, basketball is one of the only sports where they don't wear nothing on their face. I mean, golf, you got baseball where but they wear hats, they wear glasses, stuff. Basketball is nothing. They're highly marketable because everywhere they go, they're recognized. Some people in football and stuff, unless you really follow the game like that, you might be in a restaurant or something, and it's an NFL player right there. You don't even know. Because they got helmets on, right? So you got that aspect.
Especially if they're offensive linemen or
right. If they're not a star skill player or something,
tight end or wide receiver,
right? Somebody they're not showing their face constantly on the screen.
Yeah.
The other thing I can point out is basketball is one of the only team sports where one player can have such a huge impact on the game on a nightly basis. Other sports, you might have in the NFL, you got one guy can win you a game, but he can't continuously do that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're talking about maybe the quarterback, and that's pretty much it. And the same for every other sports. Like you need the team really to win in all sports. But when you're looking at like just how drastic one player can impact the game, the NBA hands down is the one. So it's like I don't think it'll never be, even at its height of what we love the NBA to be, it still was about specific players. Even though we respected those teams and we loved those teams, everybody coming to see the Michael Jordans and the Kobe Bryants and your Hakeem Olajuwons, your Shaqs, like it's always been that. And football is more like you're going to have, at least if you really follow a team, you might have like 5 or 6 guys you're really interested in looking at while the game going on, So I don't think there's anything they can do to change that other than changing the mentality of the player. And ultimately, I really think that's a thing that's up to the players. But it goes back to the thing I saw before, and then basketball, it's just so crazy with the reffing. To me, the viciousness of the calls and how one-sided and how much they cheat, as that goes up, it just seems like the culture, it kills the culture of sports, because these guys not stupid. I'm putting my blood, sweat, tears on my body on the line, maybe the ability to maybe not even walk later when I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And I'm doing everything, and you can go out there and just blow a whistle and change it, and you're wrong. So it's like, until we fix that, I don't think the culture gonna change. The betting era is to me, the more we lean into the bad calls and the betting, and people saying games are fixed and all of that, it just sports get worse.
Well,
that's why we like college and high school and stuff, because you don't have that as much.
Entertainment, sports entertainment, is called that for a reason, because they kind of emphasize that entertainment part. But I think all of this, there's a happy medium to it. I think with the reffing, I just kind of feel like, man, call the travels, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it seems like everybody travels. It's like,
they switching pivot foots and everything. They don't even call it.
Fundamentals are thrown out the window. And it's like, what are you all looking at? Like, you have to call basic travels. Basic, double dribbling. I don't feel like the refs understand what a charge is. Like, dog, you cannot take a halfway charge. A halfway charge is a blocking foul. You have to stand there with your feet set. You're not already falling down. You're not leaning to the side. You stand there and you take a hit. You take the hit straight on. That's what you do. You don't do any of that other stuff. If you're doing any of that other stuff, that's a blocking foul every single time. It's a blocking foul.
Not if you're playing
and
the Pelicans,
I know,
Lex.
because I took charges, and you know what? I took the hit, and I fell for real. I fell the correct way. I didn't try to break my fall. I didn't do none of that junk. Nah, I want you to see this is real, dog. That chicken head hit me. She hit me. You know what I'm saying? And I took it head on and fell back, and it was like, shoot, well, thank you, because that wasn't difficult to call. Nothing was moving. It's just like I'm trying to find something.
Oh, you
know what I'm saying? Take this drink right here. Take this drink. Look. You know what I'm saying? It just fell. There wasn't no, let me catch my fall. No. It just falls.
We're going to do some blocking drills, coach. Let's do some charge drills, coach. Let's go take some charges.
Hey,
let's go.
I'm just saying, like, that a lot of guys do not know how to take a charge. And I'll be like this. That's not a charge.
They called one didn't they call one tonight? They called one tonight. The dude they called the charge, and I think he was still like leaning. He was still moving. It wasn't even.
You ain't supposed to be leaning with it. and popping with it.
And when you the pals, Lexxah, you know it's gonna be a charge on you no matter what.
I'm looking at even with Zion, like you know how Zion, how he shifts in the air.
Yeah.
Okay, on the side, and guys will stand there. If you look at them, they're leaning. That is not a charge. It's not. I promise you, it's not. I've been around basketball for a long time. That is not a charge. That's not a charge because he maneuvered around you. And then when they start leaning, because they know that he's swaying to one side, and once he does that, it's no longer a charge because you're not standing there. They're leaning. They're leaning. You can't do that. You got to stand there. And see, the thing is that they don't want to take no charge head on from Zion. They don't want to do that.
I don't think it's about one, Lex. They can't. If they do that, they gotta go sit down.
It's really something how guys be switching as far as 1 minute they want to show that, hey, no, I'm a tough guy, and then you know what I'm saying, like they be crying when they get hit like that. Like, dog, you got to choose.
I hate that. I hate that about the league now. But it's rewarded.
Take the hit,
man. And I hate to say it, but that came with LeBron, Lex.
Yeah,
I blame LeBron for that because LeBron to me was like a phenom. LeBron could, like you see him, Mr. Longevity, and people hit him. And we know that don't hurt you, but then it's like he maybe went 6 years, right? Just like Zion, he went like 6 years. And he just was playing through all that shit. And then 1 year, LeBron just was like, fuck it, I'm flopping. That's when I kind of stopped liking him as much because I love LeBron when he first came in. And then you just saw the change in him, man. When he pulled the stuff with the Heat, I wasn't totally against it, Thought it was crazy. But I was like, let me see how this play out. And then they went in the finals and he couldn't handle business there, and it's just like not taking no accountability for that. Yeah. Then he started doing all the flopping and crying shit. I'm like, man, and it totally changed the game forever.
You see how he be if he gets hit, he be like,
and Lex, when the thing that really make it bad for me.
Don't really take all that. It's like, man, I feel pain all the time, man. I get up and I go back to playing. I be going to the gym hurt all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, please stop.
The thing that pissed me off with it is LeBron is so fucking strong and durable. That's what make it. It's like, dude, you have
he's perfectly. You see how he's
right. You got the physicality of an alpha male. You got the physicality of an alpha male, and you acting like a bitch right now. Like,
well, way to get straight to the point there, DC.
What is this? I mean, it's late night. Ain't no kids watching right now.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that.
But look, it's so that's the thing that really, it's like we know you can handle it. We know you strong enough to have the mentality, but it's just like, I understand you got to play the game, but it's like, damn, bro. And then everybody went. And they're looking up to him and mimicking LeBron, like Kobe would never. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much. The integrity of it is just compromised with all of that, man. All that flopping and shit.
Yeah, Kobe was really last of I don't know that I guess era or where they played, because I think yeah, he was just the last one. He was just the last one. I don't know when KG. I think KG he left around that time too, like a year or two before.
KG faded away before Kobe. Like he was still around, like that the Brooklyn KG and all. It just wasn't the same.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was way after, but yeah, I think a lot of things changed once he left because they were still doing the Kobe versus LeBron and Kobe. every time they matched up, I
He
think
always cooked him.
always got the best of LeBron.
He
He's
always cooked him.
Dog, like you ain't it for real. You know what I'm saying? You just have the perfect NBA body, but as far as like the skills,
He got the best NBA body ever assembled, to be honest.
yeah, he does, and I think that's what he goes off of. Because I don't feel like LeBron is great at anything. I believe he's solid. He's very solid at everything, and that's what makes him great, as well as his longevity at playing at that level. So, I just think that's I think that's his thing.
You're right, Stace. DeMarcus Cousins was definitely a gladiator, and I always loved DeMarcus Cousins because he always was calling the roughs out. He was our modern day Rasheed Wallace, and they treated him as such. He was Rasheed Wallace, but like 10 times better, man. It was just a shame how that one injury just altered and changed his whole career. Hopefully it don't do the same for DeJounte Murray, but I'm definitely a little nervous about him, rupturing his Achilles, because his game, to me, he's an intelligent player, but he definitely uses a lot of his athleticism in his game, man. And I don't know how he's gonna look coming back from Achilles. At least, especially initially, but he is young. The younger guys, they say they can recover from it. It's a bad thing to get when you old. You kind of lose all of your athleticism. But DeJounte is like 27, so he's still relatively young. But I'm real nervous about that. But that's what took DeMarcus Cousins out of here, man. And before we got Zion and we kind of reset, them 2 seasons we went through, I just couldn't help but wonder. Him and AD, they were putting up like crazy numbers, like historic numbers for bigs. You got to go back to the best of the best of the best to look at the numbers them two dudes were putting up together, man. It was crazy. It was almost like twin towers of David Robinson and Tim Duncan on steroids. It really was something that could have been special, especially with Rondo and Drew Holiday, man. I'm not saying they would have won a championship, but they definitely would have been contenders, and they could have got one. But we'll never know.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to this, but I think we got the gist of it. As far as with this, you can watch it if you like to, some more. But he pointed out a few good things in this video. How do you pronounce it? Saban? PK Saban? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, that's what it looked like. PK Saban. I can't see how it could be a different way.
All right. Well, did you have any last few words before we close out the stream?
Fire Willie Green. It is after the All-Star break, Lex. And I am fully on board now, for the more Fire Willie Green. So we have enough losses.
Subban.
There's no Subban, yeah, okay. We have enough losses. There is no way that even with a new coach, we still wouldn't fall in the parameters.
Are you saying something that I be saying all the time?
I stay true to my point. I say, Lex, look, I am not with you until after the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, they only got 27-something games. We got 43. We got 43 losses. Like, it's okay. Well, I'm sure we're going to get some more, even if we change the coach. So it's like, okay, the Pels, they don't need to get 68. They don't have to have the most losses in the NBA. I don't want them to be that. But I just wanted them to be right around that 50 mark, encroaching upon 60. I think they could do that with a new coach. Willie Green, they ain't got no more usefulness. We don't need to lose every game anymore. We can start being competitive and start to try to shift the tide, because like I started off the pod saying, watching the game tonight, and me and my girl, we watching the game, right? She like, babe, I can't even watch them no more. They're such losers. It's like, it's just no desire to even watch. Like, we already know the outcome.
that's the same thing with watching Zion. I feel like he's wasting another year. His stats, I mean, the team and the organization are making his stats empty. You know what I'm saying? Like they would mean something but they're so determined to take him out when it's time for him to come out on that stupid minute restriction. And I'm like, man, it's crazy. Even when the team has a chance to win, when he has a hot hand, they're taking him out. It's like they just throw a wrench in the whole thing. It's not even real. Think about it.
Let's say it's not even real.
No, but listen, the game is not real because it's like you're strategically taking this dude out, to assure that, hey, we're gonna play him because according to the NBA, you gotta play him. He's healthy, right? If you don't play him, you get fined, right? So they're basically like, okay, we're gonna play him, but you know what? We're gonna take him out so he doesn't get too hot. We're gonna take him out and keep the game close, but we don't want him to get the Pelicans over the edge. Man, the games are not real. Because that's not everything that they're doing with Zion. It's not realistic. Nobody does that to their star. Nobody does this, what they're doing. Dude is playing defense. And I say this, man, if you playing defense at a high level, you in shape.
Yeah.
Ask me why.
Oh, he's in phenomenal shape.
Yeah. It's like, dog.
They can't even use that excuse on him no more.
Defense is a whole nother gear of conditioning.
You can't call him fat or nothing no more. You can't do none of that. Zion.
Hey, but you know what? People still trying to say that junk, man.
Man, the dude, he's small. He's smaller than he was his rookie year right now. I don't know what he weighed, but I know my eyes see. Zion is at the weight that I think he's found the weight that he should be playing at. He's at the weight that he should be. And that's probably one of the best things we could take away from the season other than Trey Murphy.
Hey.
He's discovered it. He's found that area where he still can dominate, be able to take the all the rigors of the game, all the physicality, and stay pretty much healthy. I think he's found it. But the Pels are looking at it like
around though.
They looking at it like that. They doing it for tanking purposes. But me, as far as my tanking ideology, I don't think you should do it that way. I think you should go about like let the players play when they out there. But if we winning too much, look, everybody got a mystery illness or whatever. Y'all sitting out games. That's how I've always seen it done. Guys would sit them out of games, especially on the back half of the season. They would kind of intentionally lose after the All-Star break. But the Pelicans ass backwards, and that's why I said, we're gonna do it the other way, baby. We're on the back end of the season. Now go ahead and fire Willie Green, give James Borrego a shot, and see. You might have your next coach right there.
You need to get rid of Griffin Green. Both of them got to go. They a package deal.
You saying that, Lex, but you know the Pels better than anybody, and they are slow as hell. You are not getting both in one off season, Lex.
In order for things to really change, I'm talking about real change and not the fake change. Okay, real change. You need to get rid of both of them because he has not, in all these years that he's been here, and he's been here since Zion has been here, he's gotten nowhere. And you telling me you about to get rid of a third coach and bring in a fourth one in your 6-year tenure? Oh, nah, dog. You need to go kick rocks. Go kick every single last rock in the state of Louisiana. Because that's pathetic. Why do you still have a job? And you going on, like if you get rid of Willie, I don't want him to hire the fourth coach.
But he's a nice man.
Gosh. But everybody in the chat, y'all see what I'm saying though, right? Like that's crazy.
Damn, Lexxah, I see what you're saying too. I see what you're saying.
If he gets rid of Willie Green, you're telling me that organization is allowing this dude who's been there for 6 years to hire a fourth coach.
Pretty much.
6 years, fourth coach. 6 years, fourth coach.
Yeah.
I mean, dog, you averaging a coach every 1.5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mickey Loomis might be going down the same, the same rabbit hole.
That's unheard of. That is unheard of, DC. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody, if you think about any other organization, they are not keeping no vice president who's hiring a fourth coach in those 6 years. They're not doing it. They're not doing it. They're like, what? Oh no. And then look at his record. Look at everything that he's done. Do you know the team has not gotten better?
Yeah.
You're either not a playoff team or you're a borderline playing team.
The craziest thing for me is none of the players don't even like him. Your superstar player can't stand him.
Nope.
They was asking Trey Murphy about GMs and stuff. He spoke highly of Trajan Langdon. Like, nobody even likes him. So it is insane to me of keep trying to fit this square peg in a round hole. Like the dude, he's just not good at his job, and he's never been good at his job, really. He takes credit for a championship as if he was the main person and the only one that, like LeBron didn't tell him to go get all them people. We can see LeBron been doing the same shit for years, before and after you. So it's like the dude is he a fraud. He ain't never been what he say he is or what he think he is. And it's alarming that being the franchise we are, we can't see that. Well, we see it, but they can't see that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why
it is truly alarming. Like, they're watching everything burn, and it's like you have no concept of how it caught fire. You left that goddamn microwave on with all that aluminum foil and shit in there. So you're gonna rebuild a house and do the same thing again? But I'm at this point, and we had this conversation. We go back and forth with this one. I don't want David Griffin or Willie Green here.
Yeah.
But understanding who the Pelicans are, though, Lex.
Yeah.
They are not going to have that much turnover in one. That's just not how they operate. They don't operate like that with the Saints, and I don't think they'll operate like that with the Pelicans.
Well, you know what?
If they fire David Griffin, you stuck with Willie Green. If they fire Willie Green, you stuck with David Griffin. I bet my bottom dollar that's the way they're gonna go with it. I think it's very hard for them to not make any changes. I hear some people saying that. I would be completely surprised if they don't make any changes. And he should not have the ability to pick a fourth coach. But to be honest, neither one of them should have been here after last year.
Yeah, that's true.
Because a good franchise would not have had to see this season turn into this to know they need to make a move. Or they would have made the move, and then we would have maybe had a bad offseason because of all of the changeover, But you could see it. Like last year, you can see it.
Yeah. And everybody was like, oh, where's the positivity and all this other stuff? Be like, man, are you all watching these games? Are you all watching these games?
We say 20. You say 24 quarter losses. It was 27 or 28, I think, with the playoffs.
Guys were available, and dude, you were still a borderline playing team. Let's think about that. You were still losing. You like them 49 wins as far as in regular season don't mean anything if nothing is translating or getting better going into the off season. And you barely made it. With 49 wins, you barely made it. What does that tell you? That tells you that the competition in the West is getting stiffer. Teams in the West are really being aggressive in trying to win. They're being very aggressive. They're constantly making changes. And while they're making changes, you're just sitting there like, oh, we don't need to make changes to our roster. Yes, you do. You need to make changes to a lot of things. Like you're sitting ducks, like, oh, we're going to be fine. Let's wait and see how this group goes. Yeah. And while you're waiting to collect data on seeing a particular group of guys play together, guess what? The rest of the league is passing you up. They're passing you up because you're waiting. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. Let's hurry up and wait. You know what I'm saying? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
You know what? And you know, you sound like Chartez, the little fish that was talking to the big done, and he was talking like this. And I just checked on the baby, and my sister, she's in the hospital, and she's very sick, and she needs help. But I'm hoping that I can still get hours at the factory because I really.
What are you waiting for?
True story.
Bruh. For real though, like
goodness gracious.
What the hell are we waiting for? Like really though, like what more will it take? You know what I'm saying? But Willie Green is gonna be the fall guy after the season for the bad season and injuries.
You know what? I'm not trying to be mean, but Bryson Graham, he needs to go too.
No, you can't do that to Bryce, Lex. You the one who sent me a message talking about Bryce popped out and showed his face.
No, you need to go. I don't care if you discover BC. I just think that you aren't strong enough to kind of, you know what I'm saying? You can't function without Griff. You know what I'm saying? So any man who can't function without Griff,
God
baby, you got to go.
That's crazy.
He can't function. I don't care if you just got
crazy.
Bye bye love. Hello loneliness. You know what I'm saying? He got to go.
Poor Bryce.
Yeah, he wasn't. Look, he wasn't ready. He ain't ready.
I've given Bryce permission to dominate.
Look,
oh no, it's so crazy.
Dude with you, man. Why is it almost 2:00? I just looked at the clock. Come on, big. We go
ahead and get out of here. But you know, it's been a long time, Lex. You know, been a while, and it's Friday night. You know,
man, I got games tomorrow.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, go ahead and get up and stop asking me if I got stuff to say. Shit, I had a lot to say.
You were asking the questions, Lex. Stop asking me questions.
You was doing a good job. You was hosting night. I'm like, oh, Lex, look at her. She interviewing me. Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot. Hey, we missed a lot of things during the week. So, there was a lot to cover to make up. I mean, we didn't bring in.
Well, we didn't go over the fact that Brandon Ingram is still not playing.
Oh, that
for Toronto. And he not going to be playing.
That ain't no news. He's with the other team now, you know.
All right, well, let's let that roll because that I spend it to a whole other thing. Then we talking for 10 more minutes, and then you're gonna be like, it's 2:30. And I'm gonna be like, what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? I don't know how to do no other type of woman voice, Lex. That's the best I can do.
Oh man. No, I don't get that, Stacey. I love basketball, man. I love talking basketball. He
said Lex get ADHD when she gets sleepy.
I actually missed
Good night, Stacey.
I missed a little bit of the game. I mean, I know I didn't miss anything, but yeah, I missed a little bit of the game. Nah, because I was at an AAU tryout, man. About to pick my team. Yep.
All right, Lex. All right.
AAU team is with Adidas, y'all.
Congratulations, baby.
Coming on up in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all a matter of time.
And had some of my guys come out and things. So
Oh, that's
that was
awesome.
cool. Yeah, it's exciting, man. I just, it was nice sitting there. You know how coaches be sitting at the games watching
You
the
ain't had your arms folded like Willie.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Duke coach, North Carolina coach, man. I was sitting on the sideline with all the other coaches looking at the scrimmages. I was like, man, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I just need to get my seat next to goodness, I forgot her name. Oh, what's his name? It is. Come on. South Carolina. Don Staley. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Next to her and LSU.
You in there then, huh?
You know what I'm saying? Like this. Mm-hmm.
And that light swim well.
Oh, goodness gracious. But you do? All right. Congratulations, Stacey.
Oh, Stacey too? God damn. Hey, congrats, brother.
Up. We all coming up.
All right, man. Y'all got to keep us posted on y'all teams and everything going.
Oh yeah, man. This is gonna be exciting. Is this your first stint with AAU, Stacey? We both can coach the Pelicans.
You probably ain't lying about that.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm not lying about that. Y'all would do awesome compared to what we got.
Oh, yeah, hey, you know what? That's high praise. That's high praise. But I'm be honest, if I coached in the NBA, I would want to learn and be an assistant coach. I'm not trying to go in.
You're a coach under Willie Green? You'll be assistant coach under Willie Green?
No, I'll probably go to the Spurs because
they gonna fire you like they did Teaspoon, Lex.
Yeah, he got rid of. You know what? Nobody else get fired except for the female.
Because she was calling all this bullshit.
Yeah, she probably was. And everybody else over there were yes men. But we gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Props to Teaspoon. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, cause she, that girl, she hardcore for real. She really is. You know what I'm saying?
Louisiana's on.
Huh?
Say Louisiana's on.
All right, shoot. Well, they kind of rejected her. I know it wasn't Louisiana's fault, but
we ain't rejected. The Pelicans dumbass.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But, the story I heard on it, they were saying like, I guess Zion was dependent on her too much for stuff. I don't know. They wanted him to be more independent and all this bullshit.
Yeah, they wanted to control him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they were removing it. I don't know, man. They see that as a threat sometimes.
Well, you called it out. I seconded, and we ain't got to turn this into a conversation too much because we said it. I just wanted to point it out while we're mentioning that. Mm-hmm. You know, David Griffin looks at Zion and he sees LeBron, and he has PTSD. Yeah. He don't want him to turn into LeBron, but as you can see, every time you look around, Zion getting another tattoo. And I have calculated by the time he fully tattooed, he gonna be LeBron.
I mean,
he's turning into him by the day. Like
we just want him like really.
Is Zion and Luka is up next. That's who it is, and maybe Ant-Man in there too.
To take control of his destiny and his career. Zion has to do that. He does have to empower himself.
He gonna do it. He gonna get Willie Green fired. That's gonna be the first step.
Well, now he need to get both of them. I was about to say something, but he needs to get both of them.
He's still under contract. He can't get David Griffin out of here till his contract get close to being up. Then he can be like, "Look, I'll stay if y'all get rid of David Griffin. I'll stay."
Everything with Griff and everything with Willie Green has to do with one particular thing. Are you ready for this? I need you to be ready.
What?
Are you ready? The secret contracts.
That's
what this is about.
Oh, you
know what I'm saying? That's why they did them secret contracts. You know what?
It's 2:00, but I'm still
No,
up.
I know it is. And I gotta get up. I gotta get up in the morning.
Come on, let's get out of here.
All right.
Say the fans that pays and let's wrap the show up.
Okay, so appreciate y'all being up in here. Hit the like button, share the like button, share the stream, share everything. Okay, subscribe and all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all for being.
Great job too for to the host, Lex. Great job. Great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Gotta wipe those tears away. Okay. I'd like to thank the board and the trustees. All right, y'all. We're gonna get up out of here. You all have a blessed morning, blessed evening, whichever one came first. Okay. And we'll holler at y'all later.
Peace.